Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. But right now, we need to focus on some Planet Zoo. And specifically, some of the issues that came up with 1.03. Now, fear not. This is not going to be Grumpy Grim moaning about the game. It's too easy. Everything was better in my day. Fear not. I actually think that 1.03 has done a fantastic job in starting to add in the management stroke simulation side of the game that I've done videos on and I've said has been lacking. But yes, there's always a but. I apologise. There is some things I want to address. And that issue is how do Frontier introduce new features and tuning which can drastically change how the game plays to players without nuking their zoos before we've even had a chance to put things right. A great example of this is, of course, refunds. Yeah. We've all, no doubt, if you've got any franchise zoos, you've had any playtime since 1.03, you will have felt the pain of refunds. Now, if you don't know what the refund system is, it's based on guest happiness. So if happiness is the easiest way to look at it. If happiness is 100%, you've ticked all their needs, then you will have 0 refunds. All good. As the percentage drops in terms of guest happiness, the costs go up and up and up, and they go up very fast. So, here's an example for you. You have an amazing zoo. You have spent a long time working on this zoo, but granted you've been a little bit lazy. You wanted to make your animals' habitats awesome and just look super cool, but maybe you've been a bit lazy about your bin placement. You maybe not put down enough seats. You've maybe, not put down enough variety of the food and drinks. Or you may have too many gaps between your toilets because it ruins the aesthetics of the zoo. Of course, that wasn't a problem before. But you make a lot of money and have a ton of fancy animals. All good. Then 1.03 drops and suddenly you're facing a $150 bill for guests demanding refunds. But you have a TV ad about to run, and that was going to bring in a ton of guests for you, and that would have been awesome. But now it's going to bring in a ton of people that are going to be very unhappy, and are going to cost you even more money. Plus, just to be extra helpful, your animals now apparently will only eat foie gras and the most finest caviars, so therefore they're now crazy expensive if you want their top tier foods. Ouch. You can't keep up with the bleed. Your funds disappear. Bye bye Dream Zoo. Now, with regards to refunds, we will actually be looking at that in way more detail going forward. Cuddles has spent pretty much all weekend trying to find ways around it, ways to make it work, what's the best way to balance it out, risk reward, that sort of thing, lowering ticket prices, all that. That should be with you by about middle of this week. Got a few things going on, but it should be here middle of the week. So yeah, by all means, keep an eye out for that because it should be a good one. With regards to Cuddle Zoo, she was I think in the bank she had near $1 million, and just was bleeding a fortune. She logged in and couldn't keep up. She's all good now, but it does say that if you were somebody that wasn't, you were more focused on the pretty, then yeah, that change could hit you hard. So, how do we stop this from happening in the future? How can we still have these great challenges and these great changes and these tweaks and balances going on without destroying people's amazing work? Here's my idea. Welcome, the Inspector. What if, when you first load your game, you're in and I'm saying this with air quotations, legacy mode? Okay, so it's as if the patch hadn't have dropped. All of a sudden, a special inspector turns up at your zoo, and they begin to do a report on all of the changes that are going to happen and how they will affect your zoo. So all of a sudden, your inspector may say, okay, well look, you don't have enough benches for people to sit on. That is going to cost you blah. You don't have enough toilets. That might cost you blah. You don't have this, you don't have that. There's issues here. Your ticket prices are too high. That's going to cost you money. because people aren't happy. They expect a much more grander zoo if you're charging them a fortune. So all of a sudden the inspector is giving you all these things to work through. Then the inspector turns around and says, well, you have 12 months to put things right. You have 12 months to put things right in your zoo. I will then come back. At that point, when the inspector then comes back in 12 months' time, legacy mode is disabled, and you immediately go into, okay, you've now got all of the new features that were dropped in the patch. Also, and this is just a little thing from other simulations I've played, but it would be really nice if you could see potential income for the following month, for the following year, how much you're predicted to make. Because if you've got an issue where, animal feed has gone up, you can all of a sudden go, okay, Dad, I can look at what our costs are going to be next year once the inspectors come and we're out of legacy mode. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to need to do something there. I'm going to need to do things here. That way, people can get a feel for what's coming and they can prepare for it without all of a sudden, as I say, their dream zoo being completely and utterly destroyed. It would be great to hear what what you guys think. This is just literally something that I was thinking about this morning. I was having a shower and I was like, what if the inspector could do something? So yeah, it'd be good to see what you guys come up with. This is one of my favourite things where we can spitball and come up with ideas and stuff like that. Now, before somebody does put down in the comment section, wait a minute, Grim. Wait a minute. You said you wanted harder difficulty. You wanted more challenges. Are you just having an old man moment and can't remember what you said? Because I'll get the video, Grim. I'll get it. And I'll come at ya. No. I am actually all for the changes. I love the extra challenge. I love the balancing between the guest needs now and the animals' needs and how that can affect your money. I think that's fantastic. It makes a really interesting twist. The problem comes when you look at how easy it's been in franchise mode up until now. Especially when you say, well, community challenges, they only apply to franchise mode. So a lot of people have jumped straight into franchise and they played... Ladies and gentlemen, this is an addendum. Yeah, this video actually continued on. I was literally in the process of about to hit start rendering when I read Frontier's post with regards to update 104, basically retconning or pulling back, reversing all of the changes that they had made with regards to refunds. Yep, this was the issue, this was a problem. When you start something so soft, when you start franchise mode being so wet in terms of a simulator, and then you try and implement something harder, you try and bring in those changes, those tweaks, everybody is going to moan, everybody's going to have issues, and it collapses. So what was a fantastic change, what was potentially going to give this game the two pillars it needed, it's now gone. Hopefully they bring this back and they tweak the numbers back up and those sort of things, but I don't know. I don't think they will. I think this is now a community whereby they're focused so much on wanting to do the pretty, wanting the game in essence to be easy so they can do whatever they want, that we're not going to get the simulator that I'd hoped we were going to get. And that's really sad. As I say, me and Cuddles were sat downstairs at the weekend. We were praising everything they'd done. We were like, fantastic. This is really, you can overcome it. You can overcome it, but it takes a bit of effort, takes a bit of dedication, a bit of focus, and it actually teaches you more about the zoo. But no, people have moaned, people have QQ'd, and now we've got these changes being, as I say, being taken back. And yeah, to say I'm deflated and I'm saddened is an understatement. So yeah, 1.04 is available. Update notes: reverted increased refund cost, fixed sorting issue in the animal management lists. And everybody's going, that's fantastic, that's awesome, thank you, that's amazing. I'm literally reading them as we go down. I'm so deflated because this would have been so good. In fact, there are some on here People are saying, why did you revert the refund button? It was a challenging thing, and now it's like playing sandbox mode. Yeah, just because you wanted to make the people crying happy. It's a shame, but it's spot on. This is a deflated Grim signing off, ladies and gentlemen. And the sad thing is, I almost want to play you the end of the other video because it was talking about how happy I was and how good it was going to be going forward. This will be done, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have a happy Grim. Oh, just when I think I'm going to be happy, they